Hi everyone and welcome back. This is a bit of a strange one, so you have to bear with me. It all becomes crystal clear as we go on. So let's crack straight on with this one as I watch The Prisoner in the order I prefer to watch The Prisoner. So, it's Your Funeral. The story starts off with number 50, who approaches number 6's residence, who goes in through an open door, left open deliberately, not part of the incoming number 2's plan. He was a bit upset about that. Anyway, she's there because she wants to see number 6. Number 6, obviously being a light sleeper, wakes up. What do you want? Who are you? His usual defensive attitude. And what happens to her is she passes out because she was drugged the previous day. Yes. Typical scheming going on here. She's been obviously used. Which is all part of the plan because the incoming number 2 knows that number 6 is going to be highly suspicious. But at this point of her fainting, his curiosity is aroused to a limited degree, let's say. And this is what happens. He offers her a glass of water when she comes round, clearly sees in her eyes that she was drugged. Anyway, she spills the beans. There's going to be an assassination. And as far as number 6 is concerned, they've seen it, they've heard it, they know of it. Have a nice day. And she walks out in a very grumpy mood. Number 2, the incoming number 2, carries out an analysis of number 6's movements, and he sees his opportunity to have his watch swapped with an identical one that doesn't work. And that's because number 6 is having to work out in the gym, and that's where the change over the watches happens. So number 6, thinking it's his own watch that stopped working, goes to see the watch repairer, number 51. And in the shop, number 6 notices something unusual. It looks like some sort of remote control detonator on the worktop. And, number 51 snatches it off him, and number 6 obviously leaves. Then number 100 walks in, and he has a conversation with the old man. And number 6, in turn, has a conversation which turns out to be his daughter. Yes, number 50 is the watch mender's daughter. And she's basically telling number 6 she wants to prevent an assassination of number 2. Basically tells him as much information as she can. Also, some information about the jammers. This all leads up to number 2, the incoming number 2, preparing the way to discredit number 6. Because number 6 is going to visit number 2 and report that somebody is going to an attempt to kill him. But before he goes, he tries to reason with the old man, with his daughter. The old man won't have anything to do. He says, this is going ahead. This message has got to be delivered. And even, though number 6 points out that the consequences of what he's going to do could be very serious repercussions on the whole of the village. And number 6 is now left with no option but to go and see the incoming number 2, who has got the cameras and audio all set up to discredit number 6's message to him that somebody is going to kill him, an assassination attempt. And number 6 obviously visits him, and later that night they go back to the watch shop, and they see an identical sill of office with with a bomb inside it, explosives, let's say, triggered by remote control. The following day, obviously, number 6 goes back to number 2, but he's encountering another number 2. This is the outgoing number 2 who is retiring from office. Number 6 is discredited, of course, because the footage he's been shown of him reporting all these bomb plots. And the conversation ends on the note where number 6 saying maybe they're going to try to save themselves a pension, which sort of alarms the outgoing number 2. So the outgoing number 2 is showing signs of, is number 6 telling me the truth? And his own investigations about the footage sort of alarm this outgoing number 2, that number 6 could very well have been telling him the truth about the assassination. So number 6 and number 50 are talking, and they're basically saying, well, in terms of number 6, it's basically saying the whole thing was a setup on him to discredit him, and it's all working out nicely for them. So he goes back to confront the outgoing number 2 again. This time he gives him the info that it's going to be a bomb. The bomb is in a replica of the Seal of Office. It's going to be detonated remote controlly. It's going to go off on Appreciation Day. And this number 2 says, look, I can't do anything about it. I can't make any changes, and so on. So, unfortunately, there we go. So it's Appreciation Day. And number 6 with number 50 are on high alert because number 51, her father, obviously has disappeared off the scene. He's in the bell tower. Fortunately for number 6, he sees the glint of the binoculars, so he and number 50 are racing up to the bell tower while the ceremony Appreciation Day is going on. The Seal of Office is been placed onto the outgoing number 2. Everything looks like it's going the way of the incoming number 2, but it's sort of dragging out a bit, and he alerts his man number 100 to investigate. Anyway, number 6 wrestles the remote control off the old man just in time, as the seal is now placed on the incoming number 2. So number 6 goes back down, and he's confronted by number 100, and they have a tussle. And this goes on for a while, this tussle, to eventually, obviously, number 6 wins the fight. And number 2, the incoming number 2, can hear all this. He's got a microphone and ear sort of audio device, all in one, built into his glasses, so he knows the whole thing has gone awry. So number 6 enters the ceremony, and he hands over the detonator to the outgoing number 2, and he says, this is your passport out of here, use it. And of course, the incoming number 2 with the Seal of Office still on him, he's alarmed, he's panicking, and the outgoing number 2 makes a sort of mad dash for freedom, which he does with the detonator. Number 6 buys him a bit of time by shaking hands with the incoming number 2, shaking his hand, and did everything go well today and whatnot, and basically just buy the outgoing number 2 a bit of time for his escape. And that's exactly what happens. The whole plot fails, and the outgoing number 2 is on the helicopter to freedom. Now, clearly, they could still get him, but as far as number 6 is concerned, as long as you're not here in the village, I don't really care. what happens to you in the outside world. So yeah, a very strange story, this one, and let's get into it with some of my final thoughts on it. Right, so here we go with It's Your Funeral. This is interesting because this one gives us some insight into the number twos. And it seems that we do have a bit of a hierarchy in the framework of the number twos. There seems to be one number two who is above the other number twos. Now, does this mean this particular number two is the one that's most frequently seen in the village? Or is he the longest serving number two? It's a bit tricky to tell, but there is definitely some sort of hierarchy system going on here. And this story basically deals with this particular number two who is outgoing. So if he's outgoing, then clearly there must have been others before him. Have they all been assassinated? It's tricky to tell. Or maybe they think this particular number two is going to tell the world about the village. Well, if he's a security threat, then remove him from office and he becomes a prisoner. That's the way to deal with it. Or even wipe his mind. So yeah, so it's a bit of a strange one, this. It really is. Talking strange, number 6 is game of kosher in the gym. What was that about? Bouncing around on trampolines just to try and throw the other guy into the small pool of water. That's weird. That is so weird. That really is. And I'd like to, at this point, mention one other character I haven't actually mentioned yet, and that is the ever-faithful butler to number 2. The little guy who's his butler. And he has no number. He doesn't even speak, the butler. He doesn't speak. He can hear, obviously, but he doesn't speak to anyone. He's very faithful to all the number 2s. And I think he's the only one in the village who is not a number. Yeah, so I thought I'd do a quick call out there for the ever-faithful butler. Yes, it's a very strange one. It's Your Funeral. It's obviously a victory for number 6, preventing this assassination attempt, and it's just as well he does prevent it, because the repercussions could have been very, very serious. Consequences on the prisoners of the village. Yeah, it's an unusual one. It's Your Funeral. It's a good episode, but it's so unusual. It is. It has quite a few questions unanswered. So there we go. There's not much more I can really say about this particular one, because that's the way it goes. It's a very unusually strange one. So, well, I know that wasn't much on my final thoughts, but there you go. So, I think on that note, as usual, I will see you next time on the next one, so you can decide or work out which I will be reviewing in due course on my next one. Yep, so, and on that note, have a great day, everyone. See you soon on the next one, and as usual, be seeing you.